And I didn't unmute, so we're off to a great start. But hi, everyone. I should hopefully be live now. I'm going to go check my phone to see if it's all working properly. I don't know if anyone's here, so let's just, I'm going to do that really quickly. This time I actually tweeted about it before I joined so that I don't have to tweet the second I start this. I really hope it's working. Also, I'm really sorry in advance if this is going to be super chaotic. I, first of all, have not done a live show alone before. Second of all, I am so all over the place today. So, yeah, okay. I think it's working. Yes, okay. Hi, Nemo. We have our first person here. Hello. We're going to be hanging out. And I had a plan. I had things in my head. I was like, this is what I'm going to say. This is how I'm going to start. And I did not do that, but I I think I'm gonna wait for a bit to for more people to join. Hi. Hi, Deb. I'm always first. Yes, I appreciate it. I literally, with all the live shows that I've done, which it's not a lot, but every time, at least 15 minutes in advance, I start preparing, I sit down and everything. And I never understand how people are capable of being late. Cause I'm I just can't do it. I panic even if I'm 1 minute late. So yes, I love people who are on time. Also, the comments are usually delayed. So just so you know, I usually see them later than people comment, which is so frustrating because it happened in one live show that I thought there was silence, I was panicking. I think it was the first live show and I was like, oh my gosh, is it working? And it was working and people were like, yes, it's working. I can see you. But I saw the comments way later than I asked for, people to tell me whatever. So yeah, I was supposed to find some questions that people already gave me before that I haven't answered yet, and I forgot to look them up, but I'm going to do that right now. Like I said, it's just going to be chaos today, but yeah, I just I think it's not going to be for too long. The live show, obviously, but I wanted to hang out at least a little bit. I didn't even say, I think, that my book is out, obviously. So I think since all of the people here are my friends, you all know I've been talking about it nonstop for I don't even know how long. But in case anyone here doesn't know or whatever, this is the cover of my book. And I'm a matching, so I wore a shirt. Hi, thank you everyone for coming. Hi, this is my mom, everyone. So, yeah, as I was saying, I am matching my cover. I have bought multiple shirts now that have the blue color of the cover, and I also got my nails done in a pink color so that, together it matches the book because there's something it's so funny because so many people always do the threads of book covers as dresses or different outfits, or Nick from Nick of the Books does book covers as cakes and all of that, and I don't know why it's so satisfying and fun to see, but it's just I live for it. So oh, this is so cute. Hi, thank you for coming. Thank you, Nemo. Thank you so much. I am overwhelmed, but I will definitely be laughing a lot today. If I start crying or something, don't be alarmed because there are a lot of emotions inside of me right now. So thank you. Yeah. So I don't know if I should like get into any questions. Also, if you have any questions, please tell me. It can be literally anything, you know. Um, but I was looking up the questions that I haven't answered, so I will do that. Also, I in general laugh a lot or like chuckle or whatever. So if I do that more than normal, I'm sorry. So, where is it? Also, if you use Twitter, tell me how often do you bookmark things? Because I apparently bookmark a lot of things, and when I have to look for something like right now, it takes me 10 years to actually find what I need. So, yeah, I don't think I actually bookmarked the questions because I'm smart, but hopefully I remember something. Or again, if you have any questions, let me know. But I feel like it's always helpful to like have some questions to start with because I think like my brain is always empty completely and I need some things to be discussed and said or whatever before I can actually come up with things. So yeah, also when I just had a thought a second ago when I was trying to find the questions. I bookmark a lot of fanfics. Yes, right? Like every time like I always think, I'm just gonna bookmark the most important things so that I can like, find things. But that's not how it goes at all. So, um, oh yeah, yeah. I get it. I've been checking my feed a lot, but there were times when I was like, I can't deal with this, and I only checked my notifications. How did I come up with the idea for the book? Thank you for the question. And that's like, I feel like this is one of the first things everyone always asks, and I honestly have no idea. Like the whole thing basically started for like a project in one of my classes in university, and the project was basically that we had to write something and try to get published, whether that was something like an article or a short story, a poem, or whatever. And so of course I was like, what if I write a whole ass book? And when I when I found that out, I was actually going to write a different book, which is a book I'm still going to write, but I just had a feeling of like, no, like it wasn't the right time. And the way that I decide what books to write is usually a lot based on like intuition and how I feel. And so it has to feel right. And I was like, it's not the right time for that story. And I was also thinking, like I was studying, I had assignments, I was doing things. I wasn't like super busy, but I was like, I have only a few months, so I should probably make my life easier. And the book was supposed to be a novella. And so I was trying to come up with this whole new idea for like a standalone, for a novella, for something short and easy. And then I somehow had the idea of like the whole list thing. So in case you didn't know, there's like a list that the two main characters in the book go through. I just realized I haven't introduced the book at all in this video, but hopefully most of you know. But it's an adult romance and there's a list. And so I had the idea of the list. And I was like, well, shit, it's not going to be a novella. And this has always been the case for me. when I wanted to write either like a short story or a novella, I usually ended up way longer than that because I just cannot deal with anything short. So yeah, that's how it all started. The idea for the list, I have no clue because just there are always millions of ideas going through my head. And it just kind of happened. I'm also sorry about the lighting. I forgot to comment on it. The sun is setting, so it's kind of annoying, but I hope it's not too bad. So that's how it all began, and it ended up being 364 pages. And I think when you get the ebook, it's actually shorter than that, but the paperback is 360 pages, which is so weird to me because it's actually like the word count is pretty low. And I think the only reason why it's long is because there's a lot of like texts and dialogue and whatever. And yeah, but it's really funny to me because I always say that like I don't like when contemporary books are longer than 300 pages, and mine is. So yes, but again, I think it's really like short overall. And yeah, I am really behind. So hi, I don't know if I said hi already, but yeah, tell us about your experience writing Dare to Live, Dare to Love. Wow, okay. It was honestly, I just saw this comment. You know what? Forget the short project. I'm gonna write a whole ass novel. Exactly. Yes. So my experience writing this book was extremely weird. I started writing it in December of last year. And before that, I wasn't able to write properly for 2 years. And so I barely wrote anything. Like during the entire 2 years, I think I wrote like 20,000 words tops of like just randomly trying to write something. So then I started this book and it was like, in some ways it was really easy because I had this like breakthrough when it comes to the way that I plan out books. And the list that happens in this book kind of made it so much more clear in my head. And I'm a plantser, so I kind of do an outline, but I also just have to figure it out as I go along. And my outline is literally, honestly, kind of funny. Like the outline for this book is basically just the different points on the list. So I'm not going to spoil anything, but one of the things that happens in the book is that the two main characters go to the movies. And so the thing that I literally put on the list was like, they're, going to the movies or whatever. So that's it. And the rest, I figure it out as I go along. So that made it really easy. And also like adult contemporary romance is in general like the easiest thing for me to write. I feel like, not to say it's easy to write for everyone in general, I don't think that's the case, but I feel like what I hope are my strengths in writing are things that make it easy for me to write. So I'm taking 10 years answering this, but it was kind of easy, but it's been really hard because of like everything going on. I pretty much, the whole thing, I wrote it when everything was closed here. So there was lockdown since before Christmas until like 2 weeks ago or something. So that was interesting, and a lot of other things happening. So there were definitely times when I felt like the book was trash and I had no energy and I didn't know if I could do it, but I somehow made it and we're here now. So yeah. Do you actually say, I've never said this out loud, but do you say it like MBTI types for your main characters, or do you maybe use Enneagram? So this is a great question, and I actually have always thought about this. I'm so behind on the comments. I have to hurry up, but I used to think about this so much. I remember a time when I literally did, I spent 2 days doing the quiz for all my characters, in all of my books. So that was interesting, but that was before this whole book was created at all. So I haven't actually done the quiz for the characters or fully thought about what kind of personalities they have. But honestly, now that I think about it, I think that the two main characters, Elle and Dylan, I think Elle is INFJ and Dylan is INFP, which is my personality type. So I think that is what I feel like is the most fitting for them. So yes. And when it comes to Enneagram, I actually only recently, like last year, learned that it exists. So I don't know it well, and I haven't even done it for myself. So I don't know which Enneagram I have. So that is something that would be nice to procrastinate with and figure that out. But what if I write a book? Yes. I just had to go all out. Thank you. I'm glad. I usually like things like this in pictures, but I was like, I don't want it to be distracting. But how many words was the first draft compared to the final draft? That is a great question. And I don't actually know, because drafting this book was weird as fuck. Because parts of the actual scenes in this book haven't really changed a lot. Because when I started the book, like I said, made the outline of like the list and all the items on it. And I didn't plan out anything else. And in my head, I was like, you know what? When I write the first round, I'm just going to go through all the items on the list and not going to write anything unless I think of anything. And then I actually ended up mainly only focusing on the list and only added a few things outside of that. And I was like, this is actually perfect. Like, this is how it already, like, it works like this already. And so I didn't actually end up adding a lot. But when I was going through, when I was doing edits with my amazing editor, it went down by 1,000 words. So yeah, but I am not an overwriter. And I think that somehow I also managed not to be an underwriter in this case. So like, it was just, I don't know, it somehow worked out miraculously that the word count didn't change a lot. So yeah, I think I replied to this comment already. Yes, I don't know what this is reacting to, but hi, thank you so much for coming. I'm so behind. What is your favorite list item? Oh my gosh, I love that question. And I haven't thought about it before. Oh my God. I'm like, what are the items on the list? My memory is pure trash. Okay, I'm going to try to organize it chronologically in my head. How do I, this is, okay. This is like even harder than when people ask me what my favorite moment is. Cause like technically most of the moments or a lot of them are the things on the list. But I think the first one that I thought of picking is the one where basically Elle and Dylan go to visit Dylan's grandparents. And, if you read the book, you know why it's a really exciting one. And also, I just really loved, like, that scene. I feel like isn't that long, and the grandparents don't appear there a lot. But I was like, you know what? I really want more family scenes. Cause like in this book, I basically like there's Elle and Dylan, the main thing that we focus on. And then there's a friendship between Elle and Dana. And so they're best friends and really close. And that's, one thing. And then there's the relationship between Dylan and Nathan, his brother. And besides that, I didn't really have any other family relationships. And so I really liked that part of that item on the list as well, besides that super exciting thing that happens. So I'm sorry to everyone who hasn't read the book, but just wait for that and you'll see what I'm talking about. So yes, writing is a craft. You're good at your craft. There is no shame in that. Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. I'm like, I cannot handle all the compliments, honestly. So if I sound like emotionless, trust me that I am feeling a lot inside. Yes, I love the INFP type. So high five. Yes. Heck yes, we are. Thank you. Personal question, is Dot any specific breed of cat or more a farm cat mixed flu? That is a great question. I think more a mixed flu, because I think that she is adopted and just, super adorable mixed cat. Yes, so that's that. Yes, thank you so much. I'm glad you liked it. How many drafts did you go through before the final manuscript? That is another good question that is really hard to answer. And like when I put up another book, I swear I will actually know these things better, because this whole process has been such a blur. Like the whole time I was kind of in a rush, because originally I wanted to put out the book in April, because of like, since it started as like a project for school, that was kind of the deadline. And then I kind of moved things around, because while I am a fast writer, I'm not like a superhuman, and that was just impossible. So I ended up moving it to today, and I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, it just has been a blur, and the whole time I've barely processed any of it, and like it's been just a lot, so I can't fully know how I like wrote it, how many words I wrote when and whatever, and all the drafts. And I kind of basically a lot of people, I feel like there are two main things, which is you either edit as you go, like edit per chapter, or like a small chunk of the book, or you edit when you're done. So I kind of do something in between, which is I like to write and not edit, but at the same time, like I was sending the book to beta readers, and I didn't want to leave that until it was done. So I kind of wrote, let's say, 6 chapters or something. I don't know, it was maybe 50 pages, and I sent that to beta readers, and so I edited that. And then like parts of the book after that, I didn't edit for the beta reading, so the beginning was edited, and then the draft, like the stuff after that wasn't. So it's kind of like it's a whole ass mess. So yeah, but if I just had to say roughly, kind of in general, how many drafts, I would say like 4, 5, something like that. So not a lot. All of my other books that I wrote ever before this were so much more chaotic. And so, yeah, maybe I'm learning, or maybe this was just a miracle. We'll see when I write the next book. Did you use the 3-act structure as a guide for your outline? So I actually did not. So before this book, I used the Save the Cat or something like that outline, and that is honestly a little too detailed for me. Like I do think for some of my books it's going to work better, like especially because I have some fantasy books that I want to work on, so those are obviously a little bit more complex. There's more happening, more subplots, whatever. So I do think I'm going to use maybe other things, but I honestly like the 3-act structure is just not how it works in my brain, and I don't like it that much. So for me personally, so yeah, I don't use that, but we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I kind of said, I didn't actually really use any sort of guide for the outline besides the list that they go through. And then when it comes to like the structure of how things develop, of like all the conflicts and resolutions, and I can't think right now, so that the details don't matter, but it's kind of all organized in my head, especially when it comes to the romance and the way that develops and the way that the main characters get closer and all of that. I kind of have it in my head, and there are some things that I don't like writing down. So like I said, my outlines are really not detailed a lot at all. The tiny dot of adopt to void day. Yes, I love Dot so much. Who would you fan cast to play your two main characters in a movie? So I I basically, when I was like sending my cover designer, when you send like when you want any kind of art of people from anyone, they ask you for references. And I feel like that can be kind of anything. It can be like a random person you see online, it can be a celebrity or whatever. So I did pick two celebrities for that, which was Emma Watson and Sam Claflin. And the thing is, like, especially with this book or like a lot of my other books, I don't imagine celebrities because, I feel like celebrities often, like, they have a vibe and like a personality that I know and have in my head. And the characters usually don't match that. But when I was picking it out, I specifically picked two pictures that I can't really show you. I think I could share the screen, but I'm kind of scared of that. So yeah, I picked one specific picture for Sam Claflin, because I feel like Sam Claflin has so many different like looks, and most of them are wrong for Dylan, but there was this one picture that was like, that's him. Yes. So that is what I sent. And then for Emma Watson, I picked like these three pictures that one of them had the vibe and like kind of like the face shape and everything. And the other two had like more accurate hair or whatever. Anyways, these are the two that I picked for that. But I actually don't know if I would pick them for like to play in a movie, because I'm like, would the chemistry fully work? I don't know. And also the two of them are like from totally different universes, like completely like so different from each other, so I'm like, I don't know if that would work. And Sam Claflin has been in so many like weird roles lately, but I honestly can't think of anyone else. And so I think that's going to be my answer for now. And I will probably think about it more and see if there's anyone better. But like in the future, like I've already started to think about this more for my other characters so that it can be kind of like more organized in my head. Because some of you here probably already know this, but for those who don't, I basically, for reasons I will not say right now, started making like a fan video for one of my books, which is like editing together like scenes from actors that I imagine as the main characters and putting it together as a scenes for my book, kind of. So I am kind of fan casting for my other characters more and actually picking ones that I'm like, yes, I would love to see this as a movie, and it's been so addicting. So yes. Is there any possibility of a Dana Nina story in the future? So let's just say that when I create side characters, I have one rule that is, if I'm not dying to write their own story, their own book, then they're not good enough side characters. And while hopefully that rule allows me to write good side characters, it also makes my life a little bit more difficult because I really don't need extra book ideas because I already have a bajillion. But yes, that is the answer to that. Weird roles. Yeah. I think you're reacting to Sam Claflin, right? I mean, like, at one point, I was like, this is the most attractive man I've ever seen in my life. And that was like when he was in, like Hunger Games and Love Rosie or whatever, that type of stuff. And then like this past year, like I don't know, there was the Enola Holmes movie where he had a mustache, and then other ones where he like I don't know, it was just like okay. Yeah, so anyways, I am still a fan, but like all the things are so random that like, you know, yes. So I really should have prepared more questions. But my brain is like empty. So yes, Finnick, my attraction to him has only ever gone down since then. Yes, like same. Not exactly same, cause like I said, there was like yes, Nemo, he was in Hunger Games. Come on. He was certainly definitely in Hunger Games. Yeah, anyways, I what I was trying to say and then, you know, got distracted is my attraction like it was this is mostly the same after that for a while, but then like I don't know what happened. I yes, he was. Yeah, he definitely seems to be in everything. What do you all think about him? Like, I don't mind him, but I'm not like, I don't like, he's not my type. And also, I just, his vibe, also, I feel like he looks so young. I looked it up like 2 days ago, and he's 25, which is actually like not that much older than me at this point, but he looks so young. He just has such a young face, not voice. But yeah, do you all like him or not? Hi, Ria. So happy to see you here. How is everyone doing? How are you doing? What is everyone doing? I'm like, what if I ask you questions and you answer me in the replies or comments? Also, actually, now that we're thinking about not thinking, now that we're talking about celebrities, who do you think are like the most attractive celebrities in your opinion? Because I've been talking about this with my friends and we all have very different opinions, which I don't know, it's always fun to talk about. And I think he looks 13 at all times. Yes, literally, like, I mean, like, there are him and Tom Holland and that other blonde guy who was in, he was tiny. He was a tiny kid in Love Actually, and then he was in Maze Runner, and I don't know if anywhere else. I don't know his name, but he also looks like he's 13. So, yeah, all of them look 13. I think he's a good actor too, but I'm like, yeah, I feel like so many people fangirl over him, and yes, very indifferent. Tommy something. Oh yeah. I'm like, who? Yes. Wait, I'm gonna look it up because I hate when I like can't remember things. So yeah, I always like I don't know. We used to talk about this actor all the time with like my friends or something. I don't even know why, but yeah, I think one of my other friends also had a crush on him. I had a crush on Dylan O'Brien from Maze Runner and other things, but yeah. He looked 11 when he was 13. Now that he's pushing 30, he looks 13 and a half. Exactly. Yes. Yeah, the actor is Thomas Brody Sangster. Seriously, like he looks, wait, how old is he now? I think he 31? Oh my God, he is 31. That is like, come on. You can't tell me he's not like, I don't know, 20 at least. Right? Yes. Yes. I feel like a lot of actors like Sam Claflin, like I mentioned, and I don't know who else, but they have like looked really they have changed a lot. I have cat hair on my face and it's so annoying. Um they have changed a lot and I'm like, why? But I feel like Dylan O'Brien still looks the same, at least in most things I've seen. I recently watched a movie he was in on Netflix. I once again don't remember the name, but he still looks really cute, still the same. So we love to see it. Yeah. I have Coke, by the way, that I haven't drunk this entire time because every time I talk for 10 hours, I forget to do everything else. Oh my God. I don't think that's the case. I don't think you look, I think you look much younger actually. So yeah, all people that I know, I feel like look way younger than they are. Like, oh my God, I also usually people don't tell me that I look you know, like a teenager or something. I think like it's because I wear makeup and whatever, but last week or the week before I went to this like insurance company, whatever, with my mom. And the person there asked if like we were saying that I was done with university. Like we didn't say that I was done with university, but I was done with university. And that's why we were there to like ask questions of like, you know, what do I do if I don't get a job immediately? Like whatever. And she was like, so you're done with high school. And I was like, do I look like that? Like, I mean, to be fair, I think that like when you're 18 or 19, I think I was like 19 when I finished high school. I didn't look that different, but I was still like, wow. Okay. Um You look definitely younger and maybe depressed too, but you honestly look like I think you're 25, right? I feel like anyone who is like 20 to 30 honestly looks the same unless it's like Timothy Chalamet whatever or any of the other ones who look like they're 5. But I just literally like when people try to guess ages, I'm so lost and I'm like, how do you know when everyone looks the same? So any plans to write a romance fantasy in the future? Yes, absolutely. Yes, yes, and yes again. I I have so many books planned, so many books in the works. Because I actually that's kind of where I started. Like if we go all the way back to when I was like 13. Back then I was writing like paranormal romance because, you know, around then, like all that was like paranormal romance was the rage, everything was paranormal romance. And then after that, I started writing fantasy and I literally like, I also wrote a YA contemporary, but the past few years, for some reason, I was like, I don't feel like writing a YA contemporary. It just felt like that was not the right genre or whatever for me to do. So this was the first adult romance that is contemporary that I ever wrote. And because for some reason, I literally don't know what my brain, like what happened to it. But every time before, I never realized that another option I had was adult contemporary romance because I either thought about YA contemporary or fantasy. And I'm like, no clue what happened there, but you know, but the point is that fantasy romance is like the main thing I've ever worked on in general, and that is the one thing that I'm always going to come back to. And one of my biggest frustrations is how, like, you know, in fantasy books, you usually see a romantic subplot, and a lot of the time that's actually like not developed enough, in the sense that it either has a romance but it doesn't need one, because, you know, people try to put romance in everything sometimes, or it's like a good romance but not, it's not like the main focus, which, like, it makes sense, but still I feel like even when it's a subplot, there's a way to make it like really strong and really good, and I almost always feel like there's a lack of something. And so I'm like, fuck this. If no one is going to write it for me, I'm going to write it for me. And so my point is that I want to write fantasy books that are like actually fantasy romances, really focused on the romance. And I kind of want to do more like romance in a fantasy setting. So while there are definitely like all kinds of fantasy things, and there are even like journey stories or whatever, the romance is always going to be the main focus for me most of the time. But I feel pretty confident about saying always, because I just love romance. So yes, that was a really long answer to such a simple question, but yeah, I like I said, everyone around me is short and has a baby face. Like my mom has a baby face, my sister, my friends, everyone. And I always felt like it was annoying, but I feel like, you know, as we get old, it's definitely more of a good thing. Yes, I agree. You do look like a baby, and you definitely don't look old, like, at all. So I agree. Literally I have to like remind myself that you are 25, because like it doesn't feel that way at all. Oh, yeah. Wow. I love that. I love that. I honestly, I feel like this is the best option to have. Um, cause, you know, I love that. I already said that. It's fine. How many works in progress do you currently have? Um, I mean, you know, the it depends on what that actually means. Because if it's like how many books I have started, it must be at least like 20. But how many am I like working on? What I want to try to do. Not saying I already am doing that, but I want to basically try to have like work on two things at a time, like focus on two main things that I prioritize the most, and one of them being a contemporary romance and the other one being a fantasy romance. Because, you know, I feel like with reading and writing, it usually works pretty well when I have two very different things. And since they're different genres, different vibes, I think it's going to allow my brain to not be lost and confused, hopefully. But there are kind of two books that I have now settled on, hopefully, like for sure. But I am extremely tempted to work on so many other things. So there's another like contemporary romance, especially because like I basically thought of one thing, one character to add into the book, which is like a really special character. And I'm so excited to write it. And I'm like, it's torture not to. So I think that like in general, while like I have managed to now kind of prioritize some books and like not get lost in millions of projects, so I do like I have the ability to focus on some like one or two things, but I almost always end up writing at least some scenes or a few pages for different books. So once again, I'm taking 10 years to answer the question, but I would say like let's say I have four books that I'm kind of working on actively, because there are basically like one contemporary, one fantasy book that I am dying to write besides the ones that I kind of wanted to prioritize. And thankfully, all of them have very different vibes. So I do think I could kind of work on multiple at a time, but at the same time, like, I'm trying to be smart about it, and I want it to be as, forgot the word, just as productive and smart and organized as possible. So that kind of forces me to focus on some things, which is frustrating. But at the same time, like, it's definitely necessary because, like, one of the biggest struggles that I always had was deciding what book to write and focus on. I have a vlog coming today. It's already loaded, ready to be uploaded. So I'll probably put that up after this live show. But I said in that vlog, you can kind of see there that I was really struggling with picking one book to stick to. And that is literally the main reason why for years, when I was like, I don't know, 15 or whatever, I couldn't finish a book, like finish a draft of a book, because I was just trying to do a billion things at a time. And honestly, like, I don't have any kind of magical way to fix the whole desire to write a billion things, but I try to just kind of let myself um, write other things. But I ask myself, like, what feels the most right out of all the books, and what excites me the most? What book do I think is the right time for me to write? Because a lot of the time, like, the journeys that the main characters go on are things that, like, I have to process and learn. And so, based on all these things, and based on the book that I'm just dying to write the most, I try to decide and somehow stick to it. So, yeah. Oh my God. Do you write everything in your notebooks? Oh my gosh, the past half year, like the time that I've been working on Dare to Live, Dare to Love, I have barely even touched a notebook because I'm constantly at home, and that means I'm constantly on my laptop. I live on my laptop, and like everything I love exists on my laptop. And so I have not been using notebooks for anything. And last year I started getting into journaling and, like, you know, doing all kinds of journal spreads and bullet journaling and, like, journaling about reading and whatever. Um, and I have not been doing that. And I do want to get back to it. But I'm just, like, I am constantly exhausted, and there's only so much that I can do without getting more exhausted. And, like, there are a lot of things that, like, I just think about it. And even though I want to do it, I'm like, there's not a single drop of energy left for that. But hopefully, I'm going to be able to get back to journaling sometime because, like, I did really enjoy it. And it was really, like, calming and relaxing. So, yes. The drive of, oh, this would be a fun project is strong when you're an unfocused old queen, sadly. Yeah. Um, I think, like, it's so hard to resist, especially when all the other projects seem so much more fun and easy, even though that's not really true. But, like, what's the saying? Like, the forbidden fruit or whatever is always so tempting. But yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. That is what I used to do. And like I said, now I just live on my laptop most of the time. How do you name your characters? So in Dare to Live, Dare to Love, I literally have different, like, 3 different ways that I Google lists of names. And I don't remember exactly what I type in, but, like, all the different lists of baby names, I go on Google, I search for that, and I kind of just scroll through that, and I don't stop until I find a name that feels right. So I feel like this is the most common for me. Because once again, work a lot on just like kind of intuition, and just if, you know, I see a name, I'm like, that feels right. That is the one. And usually it doesn't have a single reason besides like, this is it, you know? But there have been times that I decided based on the meaning of words, but that is more for my fantasy books, because sometimes there it makes more sense for like magical reasons or whatever. Because, for example, in some of my fantasy books, I basically have characters who are gods. And so for gods, I'm like, you know, I should probably pick a name that like is kind of close to the meaning of what they're the god of, if that makes sense. I don't actually know if that's how it works in general, but that is what I do sometimes. But I still feel like for some of them, it's just I saw the name, I was like, this is that person, and that was it. So yeah, I used to go on this website with like, I don't know if it's called like 1,000 names or 10,000 names or something, which is really like organized based on the meanings of words. And I used to use that. But now I'm like, you know, there's no logic, just vibes. That's how I roll. Would you be doing any any live writing sprints in the future? I was literally thinking about that today. And the answer is yes, definitely. I think like the live shows are so fun. They're definitely scary. Like before I started this one, I was like, no, I can't do this. But it's really fun, you know, when the live show is actually happening. So yes, absolutely. I love watching reading sprints or writing sprints. I feel like it's, even when I'm not productive, it's just so nice to have company. And also, what am I saying? It's just really fun, and it, you know, often helps me focus. And I feel like it's nice to be able to do that for other people if I did live writing sprints. And we should also do some together because that would be really fun. So the answer is yes. Magic. Yeah, I don't know what that was the answer to, but yes. Which character from Dare to Live, Dare to Love would you like to go on a date with? Oh my God. Okay. That is a great question. And it's so like like, oh my God. I kind of answered this in, I filmed like a video that is already up on my channel, which was like answering some of the questions that people asked me on Twitter. And one of the questions was like, who was your favorite character or something? And I was like, I cannot possibly decide, but I divided it into categories, which was like, I want this person to like be my best friend, this person, whatever. And there I said that I would want to date Nathan. Which, in case you don't know, is Dylan's brother. So, yeah, that I guess would be my answer, but I'm kind of conflicted because I'm like, he is an extrovert and very, you know, outgoing and like super, what's the word? I'm like, literally, I have one brain cell left. Just, you know, just super out there, super like, he does things, goes out all the time, and I'm just here like, I barely have energy to like for anything, for existing. So I'm like, I don't know if it would work. I'm like, should I, you know, like yeah. Introverts I think would be better, but at the same time I think that Nathan would be like, I don't give a shit like about, you know, hanging out with other people. Like he wouldn't be like, I need to go out and like I have to be with a million people. So it could work, but I feel like this book has characters that are like really close to my vibe. Like I don't think I'm a lot like Elle or Dylan like separately. There are a lot of differences between us, But when you put them together, like the vibes are really close to me, that it feels weird. It's almost like it's not exactly like I would be dating myself, but it's kind of a little bit too close to that. So in my other books, I have like people that I'm like, I absolutely want to date this person like right now. So yeah. But yeah, I think I would choose Nathan probably. So ooh, I need to write that down. I have not found that one. I also usually like I usually only go on a few websites that are literally like on the top of the Google page. So um characters. I'm okay, it's written down. I have so many characters. Like oh my god, I just remembered I did like is the word like encyclopedia or whatever. I wrote a whole ass list of all of my characters from all books that I have worked on or will work on. And there were so many, but I actually don't know if I didn't lose it because I basically I had a different laptop and it died last fall without any warning. Like I was using it and then it was dead. So that was fun. And I kind of moved like before that, I don't remember the details. Again, my memory's trash, but before that it was having some issues or just for some reason I moved some documents to like a drive. But I think I probably forgot about literally the most important file. So that was great. So I don't think I have that list, but I have a lot of characters, really, really a lot, like 100 something for sure. And so it's honestly a miracle that I have not ran out of names just based on all the lists that I use, but I will definitely be checking out those ones. So thank you for sharing them. And yes, I think so too. So I definitely will plan it out soon. Hi, thank you so much. Hi, thank you. I really hope that you enjoy it if you read it. And yes, I'm like, who is here? I can see how many people there are, but I obviously can't see who it is. And I'm just like, who are you? Who is here? Show yourself. Also, like, I feel like there are so many people who lurk in the like behind the screen and never comment. And I don't know what point I was getting to with this sentence, but yeah, no, it's lost. I don't know what I'm saying. It's fine. What and when was the first storybook that you wrote? This is wild to me because like when I was doing I don't know if it was when I was editing the writing vlog that I'm going to put up after the live show that I mentioned earlier or whatever, but I literally said somewhere that like this is the fourth or fifth, something like that, book that I ever finished, and I was like, hold the fuck up. I like, yes, the first draft that I fully completed of a book was in 2016 when I was 17, I think. Yeah, I think it was the second half of the year. It's really hard to describe. It was just this kind of like contemporary book which was the main character was writing letters to the reader, and it was like you don't know anything about the character. It's just them talking to you. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but that was the first book that I ever completed, like in its entire, like, you know, the whole thing, and like an amount of pages that's actually like a book. So that was the first one in 2016. But I then was like, hold on. I had been writing so many other things before that. And I literally like it disappeared from my head for so long. And I was like, oh my God. Because that time before I finished that book that I just mentioned, it feels like it wasn't even my life. Like, it feels so long ago. It's like, that wasn't me. Like, what? I don't know if that makes any sense, but I just totally forgot about so many books that I worked on. Because, like I said earlier, like, I worked on so many paranormal romances. When I was like, I don't know, 10 or 11, I cringed so hard and I have been in denial about it, like, but I might as well share it with you. I wrote a story that was some kind of a romance. I barely remember anything. And I printed it out and I gave it to my mom for either Christmas or her birthday or something. Because I was like, it was so cringe. Like, I cannot even, oh my God, it was the cringiest thing in the world. But I kind of wrote that and technically finished it, but I feel like it was probably like 60 pages and it was pure trash, but it was something. And then I wrote so many other things that I haven't thought about in so long. So it's, I feel like it doesn't have one simple answer, but the two main different types of things that I finished were probably the thing for my mom and then the book that I completed in 2016. And I actually I'm pretty sure I posted some writing blogs about it back then because I already had my channel, which is honestly like wild. Like, what the fuck? But yeah. Also, one note, if any of you are going to watch the writing vlog after this, I actually don't say it in the vlog because I'm like, I didn't want to have like a long intro or whatever, but the way I used to talk is so cringy. I cannot believe it. Like, I there's a clip that I found so hilarious. I literally looked like I was either stoned or like just so dead inside or like so exhausted and done with everything. And then in some other clips, I literally had this super weird hyper energy that felt like so fake. And I wasn't like faking it, but the way that I was expressing my emotions was so weird. And I'm like, there are a lot of things that haven't changed when it comes to my channel, but thank God that I don't talk like that anymore because, like, it was so weird, so bad, and my accent as well was tragic. So, yeah, I don't know why I'm saying that anymore, but yes. I also forgot to say at the beginning of the video, Happy Pride Month. I, again, had a script in my head. I was like, this is how I'm going to start. And I didn't, but yeah. um, yes, I also am celebrating with Coke without anything in it. Even though, honestly, I do feel kind of drunk because, like, I don't know how anyone ever deals with any, like, I my like, oh my God, I don't know how people do this because every time I see new comments, I'm like, I need to react to that, but then I don't finish what I'm saying already. But fuck, now I don't know what I was saying at all. But I know now. Okay, this whole thing is so weird and surreal and like so confusing and just that I feel drunk because like all the emotions of wow, this is exciting and like wow, this is terrifying. All of that mixed together feels like I'm drunk. But yeah, also I love my cats so much, but I have cat hair all over this glass. But yeah, anyway, my mom is saying I enjoyed my gift. Thank you so much. At least one person is happy when, you think about it. I'm just like, oh my God. But, you have to start somewhere. So, Happy Pride Month. Thank you. Bride hugs. Yes. That's so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nemo. I'm just like, how do I handle all this? I've said thank you today more times than I feel like I ever said thank you in my life ever before. Thank you so much. I'm here saying I've said thank you so many times, and then I go and say it again. So, yeah, but seriously, all of your support has been just absolutely wonderful, and I can't even like comprehend or process any of it. Yes. Thank you, Div. I love typos. Honestly, like me and some of my friends, we find typos so funny. Like honestly, like our humor is sometimes like the humor of like 5-year-olds. But I don't know, people always freak out over typos and cringe at themselves. And I'm like, I find typos just really funny and entertaining. So, yes. I honestly think it's so cute. And like I used to call all of my mom's friends auntie as well. So like I love it. Oh, thank you. Oh my God, you all want me to like just melt and pass out. I also just realized that I haven't checked if my paperback is live for 2 hours or 1 hour. So I'm going to do that. Before the live show, I was like, I'm sure it's going to happen during the live show so that I can freak out. We'll see. But I'm going to look. Also to explain, basically, okay, no, it's not live. But yeah, to anyone wondering, or the paperback is basically like publishing through Amazon is annoying in the sense that you can't plan out the paperback release. You can't set it up for pre-order or like choose the time that it will be live, which is really frustrating because basically they can take up to 72 hours to approve everything and make it live. So it's like, you don't know. I couldn't know if it would be today. And then there were some issues that made it even later, but it's fine. It's going to be available. Eventually, that's what matters. So, yeah. The book, my book. Thank you. Yeah, we're just going to be saying thank you a million times, like, yes. I also wanted to do the live show for like an hour. But I like hanging out with you so much. I'm like, how about we hang out for a little longer? But my throat is getting really dry. So, yikes. But what is everyone going to be doing this week? And what are you reading? Or what do you want to read? Or, this past week, yes. Yeah, honestly, no, because like, my brain, the first second, I was like, yeah, it's my book because we haven't talked about any other books, but it's still so crazy to me that people have my book that I'm like, hold up, like that's not possible, but it is. So yeah, anyways, I this past week haven't read almost anything, and I don't have the issue of like, oh my gosh, I have to read, like I'm a reader, I have to read a million books. I don't do that anymore. I used to have the mindset of like, I have to, like do the Goodreads challenge and have to read a certain amount of books. But now I love reading so much that I just get sad when I don't read. So I have barely read anything this past week because I've been so busy and I'm just like on a withdrawal. And I am trying to work on too many videos at the same time. Once again, so I'm just so indecisive, but I need to just figure it out somehow. But I also just wanted to mention some books that I'm going to be reading soon because why not? I mean, this is supposed to be a Q&A about my book, but I might as well talk about some books because I miss it. So I have a stag here in particular for a very special reading vlog that I might as well tell you about if you're watching this. So the vlog is going to be reading books that like the cover designer who designed my book, books that she designed as well. So I have 3 books physically that are Sweet Hand, which like how beautiful is this book? I love it so much. All of them are obviously beautiful. Like I picked Lenny to design my cover for a reason. And I literally love her work so much. And the next one is Gray Hair Don't Care. Everyone always says that the guy looks like Keanu Reeves, which like honestly, yes. I was also wondering like what if the author picked him as the reference for the character, because like I said, I sent actors. So yeah. And the last one is Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade, which I've been dying to read for so long and I just have to put my shit together and read it. So yes, there are some new comments now. I love the miniature paints and I hope that there are not too many homophobes because we don't want that, in this household anywhere. Oh, first of all, I am really excited for the video. Sorry that is 3 hours long. That is a lot. Just, make sure you have snacks and take breaks. And, like if you haven't been feeling reading, you don't have to read. Like, that is not how I feel about reading, but I honestly get kind of sad when I see people feel bad about reading because I'm like, this is supposed to be a hobby, Like, it's literally a hobby that we should do for pleasure, and that is like where I have gotten to finally. Like, I was definitely not there like at all times, but I feel like we take it so seriously, like on book Twitter, booktube. We're like, oh my gosh, I'm such a failure if I don't read, and we take it as a productive thing. And I'm like, this is not something that's supposed to be productive. So if you are in the mood to read, then do it and have fun. But if you're not in the mood to read and you want to do a billion other things, then like why should you not do all the other things, So yes. And is this the book that you told me about? Because if it is, I am here for that, and I hope it's going well. And yes, that's a fun idea. Thank you. I have literally had it on my mind since like December. And yeah, I haven't gotten to it still. Sorry. My voice is like, so you need to shut up. But I'm excited to finally do that. Yes. Hugs to you. You can do it. Yes. Yeah, thank you. I literally faint every time I see a cover by Lenny. I'm actually going to show you more because why not later when I go through the replies. First of all, how are you enjoying Song of Achilles? You said it's fun right behind that. I literally, oh my God, I can't talk anymore. Good luck with Song of Achilles. That's what I was trying to say for 10 minutes there. But yeah, I absolutely have to get to some arcs myself. I have been flopping really bad because I'm still not used to getting arcs because, like, I only recently started the journey of requesting them. And I always just get so lost in, like, what books do I want to read for myself? What video am I doing? And then, like, I get so lost in all of it that I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. But good luck with all the arcs. And, like, if you don't get to them on time, get to all of them, it's okay, It's not the end of the world. That is what I try to remind myself of all the time. Oh, thank you. You don't have to do it immediately, but I appreciate it. I kind of tweeted something about this and then deleted the tweet, I think, because like no one was interacting with it. I was like, you know what, fuck it. But if I don't review a book immediately, I'm never going to do it. So every time I want to review an arc or something, I have to do it right away or else it's just not happening. And the tweet, I also made a joke of like, people always put in like review to come on Goodreads and then it never comes. So I was like, I'm sure other people can relate because they say they're going to write the review and then they never do. But yeah, it's okay. You can take your time. There's no rush. So also, like, you did put some things on Goodreads already that wasn't like a review, but it was like some really nice things and, not just like a rating or whatever. So to me, like that already counts as reviews, honestly, most of the time. And also, I'm trying really hard to not ever look at the Goodreads page anymore because I obviously don't want to intrude into reader spaces. We know how that goes and it's tragic, but so I'm not going to do that. But I was checking it for like how many people added the book to their TBR, and let's just say I do not want to see any kind of bad thing whatsoever again, which I'm probably like, it's not that I'm going to be able to avoid it forever, but for as long as I can, I would like to do that. Because like, obviously I can be like, my friends love the book and like these people told me they love the book. And then one bad thing, I see one bad thing and I'm like, well, shit. And I hate it so much. Like, why do our brains then go, oh my God, like all the other people have been making it up. Like, where is the logic in that? I don't know, but the thing that sucks though is that like I am addicted to Goodreads a little bit and I use it as a reader every single day and like I stalk it for other people's reading updates. And now I'm like, I can't even use the actual thing because what if someone like rates the book there, I see it, and like I would hate that. So yes, I absolutely agree. If you don't want to read, it's not good. Like, I do think that sometimes with reading and other things as well, like, you do need that, like, slight push to start. And then you're like, wow, I actually do want to do this. But if you, like, start reading and you don't feel like it's fun, then just, don't force yourself into it because it's not nice. So yeah. Thank you again, but also do not worry about it. I I wrote it in Dutch and then I realized the book is in Dutch. That is yeah, I'm sorry to laugh at your pain, but I like honestly, it's so weird because I am like technically I should speak three languages like completely fluently, but that is really not the case anymore. My like first language, pure trash. I honestly even like stopped thinking in it a really long time ago because I was just like, fuck it. I just want English. I just want English in my head. And so English is decent enough, but the rest, tragedy. Like, oh my God, I literally cannot speak without using English words. And so the good thing is, I'm almost always with my close friends or family who are used to it. But whenever I run into like a normal person and have to like be a little bit more put together, I'm like, well, shit, like I cannot talk anymore at all. And yeah, I should probably like shut up soon, but I still like don't want to. Um I also like this whole day I'm like, what am I even supposed to do? Because like I basically went to McDonald's with my mom for their breakfast because I love McDonald's hash browns so much. And then we drove to pick up food at one of my favorite restaurants. And so that made me busy for a while. And then I was dealing with like submitting the paperback. And I've been replying to like tweets and liking things and everything. And besides that, I'm like, I cannot function at all. Like I said, like I miss reading and I want to read and I want to do reading vlogs. But my brain is in such a weird state that like I cannot do anything at all. But celebrate. Yes. I mean, my way of celebrating things in life is usually having Coke. So we have that. So I actually like it's so funny because in the group chat that Nemo is in and a lot of all my other friends are here from there. One of the friends said, like, don't drink Coke. It's not good for you. Meanwhile, yesterday, I bought one of the biggest bottles, like, I don't know if it was 2 liters or whatever. And so I bought it yesterday. I was like, I can drink it a little bit today, but I'm going to leave it for tomorrow. Then I drank it with my mom and my sister, and we ended up pretty much finishing almost the entire thing. And so today when I went out with my mom, I bought 2 more bottles. And she was looking at it and she was like, how much do you want? 1? And I was like, eh. And then she bought 2. So yeah, is it healthy? No. But again, we're celebrating. And that is something I do to celebrate. Besides that, like I honestly just celebrate with doing my favorite things, which is reading and watching a movie, maybe, even though like I kind of do struggle with that, but maybe I should do that. And just hanging out with my friends. Maybe I should play Mario Kart or something with my mom, because why not? I also, if any of you play Mario Kart, please tell me like how good are you at it, or like how do you like it, or whatever, because somehow I almost always win. And like I play with my mom and my sister and my friends and my dad sometimes, but he hates it and he like never wants to play. And hi Amber, thank you so much for coming. Am I high on Coke? Yes, I am high on Coke and emotions also. So I'm checking comments without finishing what I was saying. It's fine. Yes, go get some good food and enjoy, and thank you for wanting to review. And yes, thank you so much. I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening too. And I already said it, but enjoy dinner. And awful at Mario Kart. I oversteer into almost every wall. Yeah, That's what I was talking about. Because for a moment I completely forgot. But also, I'm sorry about the lighting. I have the light on, but it's like, the big light. So yeah. But I'm like, the thing is, the way we play Mario Kart is usually, I forgot the name of like the race, but we do it like we don't fight each other and don't kill each other. Cause like if we do that, then my sister goes all in and she murders me at every turn. Um oh yes. Thank you for staying for so long, and thank you so much, and good night. Yes. So, wait. I am getting lost in the comments. Bookish should come in here to take the coke away. Yes. I'm like, where are you? I need some good jokes in here, Yes. He'll do so many jokes you won't be able to control him. That is true. Yes. I promise I drive actual cars much better. Oh my god, I never actually thought about that because to me, obviously driving in a Mario Kart is very different from driving in real life, and I actually love driving, and I feel like I'm a really good driver, like of actual cars, and I love it so much. But I'm also somehow good at Mario Kart. And the thing that I was saying is that like we do the team games, and so we don't kill each other, and I'm just like it can be like, I don't know, I feel like I'm like I can't have like special skills to win every game or whatever. But at the same time, like we all use the same motorbike. We all like with my friends and my sister, we basically use the baby princesses. So like baby Peach, baby Rosaline, that that one, and baby Daisy. So I'm always baby Daisy, and so I feel like all the babies should have the same like skills and all the stuff that like changes the speed or whatever. So I'm just like, I always wonder why it works, because the thing is like when you get to the first place in Mario Kart, it's true that like it's pretty easy to stay there because like everyone else, like if the other team kills the other members, they kill the ones in front of them. So if you're first, you get killed last. But like you have to get first and stay there, and somehow I usually do that. And honestly, it's almost like I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, yes, I'm so good at this game or whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, it's kind of boring sometimes, especially because the rewards you get on the first place are really lame. Like, I don't need any more coins and bananas. But yeah, I don't know why I'm talking about this for so long, but I should probably really shut up soon. But I'm like, I don't want to leave you all. What am I doing? Yeah. Anyway, I'm like, should I check the paper bag again? I feel like it was like 20 minutes. Definitely like before the live show, I definitely didn't check it and refresh it every 3 seconds. But yeah, it is still in review. I just really want it to be today, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Why am I checking my phone right now? Anyways, 21 notifications on Twitter. That, oh my god, one thing I literally lost. Wait. Before I say that, I have to show you the art that I commissioned. My sister basically had the idea of like, you know what, it'd be so cool if we commissioned characters for you. And she told me to do that and that she would like pay for it. And then my dad ended up paying for it, whatever. So the art is so fucking cute. And I put it on Twitter and like, I love it so much. So it looks like this. Again, no, the colors aren't showing up properly, but it is so cute. I, again, have it on Twitter, so I'm sure all of you know that, but I love it so much. And the other thing that I want to say that I literally like fainted over is that one of my literally like all-time favorite like new favorite authors followed me on Twitter, and I was like, what is happening in oh yeah, I was like, wait, what? And then I realized that you are talking about the art. So yes, I love it too so much. Like, I literally don't understand how talented artists are, like Lenny, the cover designer, and the artist of this thing that I just showed. I'm like, fan art. It's not fan art because it's like not by a fan. Anyway, oh, thank you. Yes, still like I'm still in shock about it. So yeah, it's true. Yes, it'll make it even more special and more exciting. Hopefully, I am also like so impatient to get my copy. I originally was hoping for that to happen this week, so I very much doubt that. But hopefully next week, like the best thing ever would be if it came on my birthday, which I also strongly doubt, but a girl can dream, maybe. But it's going to happen eventually, so that is what matters the most. Thank you so much. Thank you. I just it's crazy. And I was once again talking about something I actually do remember that one of my new favorite authors followed me on Twitter. And like, I mentioned this, I think, was it in another video or another live show? I think it was another live show that like some super cool authors followed me before. And I honestly like never understand. I'm like, do you follow people like based on, was it because like I had like, I don't know, like I don't know. And the coolest thing, like one cool thing that happened that I was like, what the fuck, was I was basically watching like an event of some authors, and Aiden Thomas, who follows me on Twitter, was there, and he said that like a tip for people, or how to be basically like healthy, or how to make social media something that doesn't impact you too negatively. And they said like follow people on Twitter or everywhere else who actually like are cool, that you like, or something like that like make you happy or whatever. And I was like, what the fuck, like how am I one of those people? Like, I don't understand. And the funny thing also is that like, even though multiple authors follow me, most of the time they don't interact, or they don't like my tweets or reply or whatever. So it's like, it almost feels surreal. I'm like, yeah, this is fake, like it's not actually happening. They don't see my tweets. And then I shit post and post random trash, and I have moments when I realize like those people get to see it. But it is what it is, and everyone can always unfollow. And I have checked before. I was like, these people who have followed me must be annoyed, or like, like what? And like they must have unfollowed me already, and then they still follow me. So honestly, a miracle. And so the new author that followed me is Kristen Callahan, who is like a romance author. And I literally like one of the books by her. It's called Make It Sweet. I cannot express how much I loved that book. Like, I don't know what I wrote about it on Goodreads. I'm gonna check if it's some kind of like weird uh you know thing, fangirling. Yes. I knew it. So the thing that I wrote about the book, make it so you can see it tiny here, is 1,000,000 stars. This was absolute perfection. I'm too speechless right now to give you specific thoughts, but I will just say that the two main characters were everything. The romance was pure heaven. And yes, and so that is how much I fucking loved that book. And then I just was chilling on Twitter in my notifications and I saw the, profile picture and I was like, what the fuck? So crazy. Honestly, all of this is just so surreal, so weird. I'm like, I oh, thank you. I mean, like, it definitely doesn't feel that way, but like, I guess sort of, yeah, which is just like, I have no idea how this happened. I have no idea how I made it here, but it's incredible. So, yeah. I think I should really shut up soon because we're approaching 2 hours. So if there are any last questions, comments, anything that you want to tell me, please do it now because I should go and chill. Probably. I don't know. It honestly feels like there should be a million more things for me to do. And then I realize I actually don't really have to do anything else now, besides like tweeting or replying to tweets and, yeah, but I will probably try to read or watch a movie or something, but it's so weird. Like, I don't know, like my brain is just in that like adrenaline focused, not focused, but like, I should be focused mode. And it's weird to like shut that down and be like, I can chill, but I can't. And yeah, so hopefully the paperback is going to be up. I am going to check one more time. It's been like 5 minutes, but why not? Let's see. No, still not there. I am sad, but it's fine. Yeah, plus like if it was at least, like 48 hours, that would be fine. But 72 hours. I am literally so bad at math. I was like, wait, is that 3 days or is that 4 days? But it's 3 days, hopefully, maybe. I don't know. I cannot function anymore. So, oh, thank you so much. I love you too. And I am shook. And yeah. Thank you so much, Nemo. I love you too as well. And I hope you have a wonderful night. I hope everyone here has a wonderful night or day or whatever time it is for you. Hello. Yes. So if anyone else wants to say anything, I will be leaving soon. I also, oh my gosh, like I keep thinking about how, like I film in front of this background the most. And I just keep imagining having my book here behind me. I don't know like how I will put it here exactly because paperbacks are always really annoying when it comes to displays like this that are like standing without anything around it. So I have Amari and the Night Brothers, which is a hardcover here, which is a book I adore, and all of you need to read it. So yeah, I will need to reorganize everything But I honestly cannot believe that I will actually hold the book. Like, I'm going to lose my shit. So that's going to be fun. But I will go now. So thank you again, everyone, for coming and for sticking around for almost 2 hours, and for all of your support and your tweets and your messages and your kind words and everything. I feel like I am too shocked and overwhelmed to properly express my emotions and gratitude, but I am really, really grateful. And so thank you all so much once again. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming. And I was going to say another thing, but yeah, I love you all. I will see you soon. I will also be uploading a video exactly after this. So if you're not sick of my face, you can watch that. But yes, thank you all for coming, and have a great night, day, whatever. And yeah, so that's it. Bye, everyone. Yeah.